What's going on, guys, and welcome to the Diamond Standard YouTube channel at The Collector. We're going to be headed into day 21, game 1, starting rank a Solar Gold, match time of 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. We appreciate it. Thank you. My first match will be against a mage. Gonna open up decent with a Obelisk, Ragnarok, and a Cursed Hoplite. Trying to prevent him from doing the card draw, I kill the goat and proceed to play the Obelisk. He has the Safeguard incantation again, so I decide to just try to get as thick as possible and drop the Decaying Rhino, because I know he will have a difficult time killing that and everything else. Of course, the Necroceptor and getting the Bronze Servant from the Sanctum is essential. Going to be having a big day here on day 21. He is able to kill the Decaying Rhino, and I clear his spell boost. I know if he's unable to clear my whole board, I should win this following turn, and in fact, I let him know that. Ragnarok, swing, corpse explosion for the way overkill. So headed into game number 2 with a 1 win and 0 losses. My rank will be Solar Gold, and the match time is 7 minutes and 43 seconds against a mage deck. Starting with a pretty solid opening hand when I shuffle everything around. He, of course, kills the Petulant Imp because he knows that I will be able to use it to deal a bunch of extra damage if he doesn't clear it up. The Lightning Talisman is a little bit of a pain, but I work around it as best as I can and get my Obelisk out again. Keeping my board nice and wide, gonna give him a little bit of trouble. Of course, him pinging everything isn't great. Fickle Cambion, always a strong play. Hoping he doesn't clear my board. Shaped Blast puts him in pretty good shape. He hits the Fickle, and I decide to Wicked Fey him down. He bought the Nightleaf Stalker. Had to think about the Ray of Disintegration, and I decided at this point probably a safe move because I just want to keep running it down. At this point, I know I'm going to be in pretty rough shape because kind of hard to kill the Highborn Knight. He kills my Relic and gets spell boost. I take out both of his creatures at the same time, which is pretty fortunate with the Ragnarok. I don't know how many of these safeguard incantations he has, but it seems like he can play infinitely many, doesn't it? Palus's wagon, that was interesting. Vow of learning and protection. I am trying to figure out if there's any way I can save this game, but I know it doesn't look good, and I pass it over with a 4, and he kills me with the Leyhorde Hatchling. Headed into game number 3 with 1 win and 1 loss. My rank will be Solar Gold, and my match time is 3 minutes and 20 seconds against a War deck. Not in love with my opening hand because I've got the Fickle Cambion, but it is not the end of the world. I go ahead to just get the Scepter out there, as it's always the strongest start basically, as long as they are unable to clear it. Wicked Fey coming in handy to try to get ahead. He's going to have a little bit of trouble, and I decide to Fickle Cambion because that cripples a War deck if he's unable to deal damage to me. I keep his Challenger down because I don't want him to have any creatures if at all possible. And I again clear the majority of his board or go to, and he surrenders. Headed into game number 4 with 2 wins and 1 loss, a rank of solar gold, and a match time of 6 minutes and 7 seconds against a war deck. Solid opening hand against a war deck because I like having all the clear. I save just a little bit of everything because I want him to play just about as much as he can before I Ragnarok, and to my advantage, he played out quite a bit, so I Ragnarok and drop my obelisk in the same turn. I may have just shot a little early, probably should have slowed my roll down and saved the obelisk, but that's okay. It made it, and I dropped the decaying rhino. He is the sauce with the boss, and he thinks he's gonna stop me with the white fur, but little does he know I have a black bomb in my hand, so I stand a pretty good chance. And I go ahead and just put my next decaying rhino down because I know he's still a turn away from dropping anything too crazy. He plays the Valks, and that kills most of my things. Woodcutter Imp, I'm going to leave that alive and just swing like crazy on him. Put that front line out there where he will have to do the full 3 damage and hit himself, and he surrenders. Headed into a game number 5 with 3 wins and 1 loss and a rank of solar gold. The match time is 12 minutes and 13 seconds against a light deck. Having some kill is good against a light deck. You never really know what you're going to get, but when they have heal, you stand a chance of them wanting to keep things alive as long as possible. So he's probably going to buff up some basic creatures. Knowing that, I keep my Curse of Greed in hand for the moment. And then I decide to just ping him and get a 2/2 zombie. Keeping it strong out here. I'm not really sure what the best move is, so I kill one of his creatures and get the Pharaoh's Heirloom. He is opening super strong because of that Highborn Knight. It is a extremely good card from the Genesis set, of course. He's taken a moment to make the right decisions, and he surely does. Nether Swarm Lord, because that makes him think, and I will be able to pump up my board if he is unable to clear him. He is in fact able to clear it, and he passes it back to me. I go with the Arch because I know at this point overrunning him is my best bet. He draws a boatload of cards when he plays Cern the Moderator, and it buffs up everything. Gonna be difficult to recover at this point, but I am gonna have to try something or I will never win. I poke down the Highborn Knight as much as I can, keeping the zombies coming, and pass it back. Keeping that Highborn Knight healed as well as he can. I'm not sure I will be able to do anything at this point, but I am going to make one hell of an effort. I can't stop, won't stop. That's the secret, is you never stop. And sometimes you're able to turn it around. Of course, this guy has a pretty solid deck, so it's going to be near impossible to do that. Getting rid of CERN, I thought maybe I stood a chance. But of course, I pass it back to him with 7 health. And I am unable to get there as he canonizes. Headed into game number 6 with 3 wins and 2 losses. Rank of Solar Gold and a match time of 1 minute and 55 seconds against a nature deck. Always excited to see nature decks because I think they are going to make a comeback. Nature is just too strong. But maybe they'll buff nature. Who knows? I keep seeing all of these interesting little drops on Reddit and Discord. And I am getting curious. What is the Automabun and what will it be? Nobody's really been making guesses, and I am curious. This nature deck appears to be an Amazon deck, so it could be an interesting match. And we are awfully lucky we just get to watch this match in real time, as while I was putting this video together, I didn't realize that I left it real time. The Fickle Cambion is pretty serious. Such a serious threat that he surrenders. So, headed into game number 7 with 4 wins and 2 losses, a rank of Solar Gold, and the match time for this match is 12 minutes and 31 seconds against a mage deck. Mage decks are always an interesting matchup because they give me the ability to hit them for a lot of damage early and get really close to the sweet spot of corpse explosioning. Trying to think about the right move at this point, I go ahead and drop the Decaying Rhino. Slowly the Decaying Rhino is getting dropped, but doing everything I can, and he is able to ping him off. I get my Fickle Cambion out there. And of course, he pokes it down but was unable to clear it, and a Voracious Fiend comes up behind. The Leyhorde Hatchling knocks it down without a problem. And I draw a Necrosceptor, which always makes me happy. Curse of Greed that Leyhorde Hatchling and just keep poking down as much damage as possible with the Corpse Explosion in hand. There is a magic number I've got to get him to, and I can win. Unbound Flames clearing my board again. At this point, I think, hey, it's probably safe. But I pass it over and see if he will continue wasting large spells, and he Unbound Flames again. So, 2 Unbound Flames gone, and I decide, surely my Obelisk will survive. Pyrrhic Knowledge, and just how unlucky am I? He Shaped Blast and clears the board again. He purchases the Bronze Servant from the store, and that gets rid of my Necrosceptor, which is a pain in the ass. I Curse of Greed his Bronze Servant and decide to just go ahead and pull the Lambasting Wand so that I can keep putting damage down. He puts the Safeguard Incantation, but will it really safeguard him? He Ancient Texts and just wants to make sure I have no zombies at all. I go ahead and put the other creature out there. I'm just trying to do anything I can to put down damage. And I am counting up my hand, trying to figure out if I will be able to win this. And it is in fact not that turn that I can win it, but I put down just a little more damage. I am holding the best combo in my deck in my hand where I am able to, on turn 9, put down 10 damage. So if we make it to turn 9, I can put down 10 damage, but we do not, and I am in fact able to win it. Headed into game number 8 at 5 wins and 2 losses, and I made it to Diamond. This match is 6 minutes and 20 seconds against a Deception deck. He pulls a Pyramid Warden to open, and I know it's going to be a tough matchup, not counting the fact that he had a Genesis board to play with, and he's going to try to hit and rush me with his Warden at this point, pumping it up and just swinging at my face. I pull a Necroscepter, which is pretty fortunate, so I'm going to keep his favor suppressed. And he decides to go for the wide board and trying to deliver as much damage as possible. I get the Ruin of Fire from the Sanctum. At this point, he is going to try to run it down on me, but I stand a pretty good chance because he is unable to clear my entire board, so I just poke down everything of his that I possibly can and continue to smack him. This is where the zombie deck does good, because I am able to basically wait for a corpse explosion draw and keep healing, but I get lucky and wait no longer. I pulled the corpse explosion and am able to win it on turn 6. So we're headed into game number 9 with 6 wins and 2 losses. The rank is still Diamond. 4 minutes and 47 seconds is this match against the Mage deck. Opening with a decent hand, 2 Voracious Fiends. He has to play a lot of kill spells to get rid of them. And I drop another one. At this point, I just ping him and keep putting down damage. Vow of Learning, and he clears most of them. Fickle Cambion out there. He is able to clear the Fickle Cambion, and I walk into a Decaying Rhino. He plays a Shadow Palus's Wand, which is always pretty cool. And he is unable to get the Bronze Servant, which is what he thought he was going to be able to do. And next turn, I will pull it. He is stalling out because he knows he made a mistake. I drop the Nether Swarm Lord and buy the Bronze Servant. Basically, if he doesn't clear the board, I will be able to win. And he is, in fact, not able to clear the board, and I swing on him and take it home. Headed into game 10 with 7 wins and 2 losses, a rank of Diamond, and a match time of 5 minutes and 49 seconds against a Deception deck. Always an interesting matchup when Deception's on the field because you just never know. Do not love my opening hand, so that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Having another Swarm Lord is always a rough open. Anything above 4 cost is not a perfect opening hand. I think at this point I will be seeing Hidden Rush as he plays the Armor Lurker, and I decide to just get my Obelisk out there. He keeps my zombies suppressed, but I try to make some moves. At this point, I'm pretty nervous that he's going to be doing big things. I drop the Nether Swarm Lord and pump all my zombies up because I know I need to heal. And in fact, he has a boatload of damage out there. Even with all of my heal, I will not be able to overcome the amount of damage that he's going to be able to do. And that will be GG. So he knows that he has won and he takes it home. So my overall stats for day 21 will be 7 wins and 3 losses, earning 14.205 gods with an end rank of diamond. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for an epic day 22.